All right, we are live. I think. I really hope. I think my tweets are live too, but I'm not quite sure about that.
The tweets are live. They are being
Awesome,
retweeted at this moment.
awesome, cool, cool. Well, D. Gill, thanks for coming out.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on stream. This is my first. This is my Twitch debut.
It might be your last time on stream if you don't do good.
Oh no! Oh no! Pray for me.
You'll get a report card at the end of this session. Don't worry.
I'm scared.
No. Yeah. So thanks for joining. Leo was a great week one co-host, but we're gonna try to mix things up a little bit. Have the vibe only D Gill 5581. I still don't know what those numbers are from. Cast our second installation of the season 2 cycle 2 Emerald tier North American region Silph Factions battles. And so this week it's the Evanstonks versus Pogoats. So D Gill, how do you feel about this cycle of factions? Just your personal life, really.
You know that I have not been paying much attention to this, don't you?
Yeah, I know you haven't been paying attention. This is gonna be interesting. But what
it's
have
been
you?
it's
What have
it's
you?
been fun following from afar.
Uh,
It's been fun to kind of like every once in a while peek at the stonk server and see uh, some of the matchups without really diving too deep into them and like lending any advice I can offer when I get the chance. I know nothing about the field meta, so that's going to be fun. I know nothing about the new Ultra League meta, so that's going to be fun to discuss and to talk about. But yeah, I've been busy. I guess for those of you who are you asking me to plug myself right now? Is that what you're asking?
yeah, plug yourself,
Um,
plug Chipotle, plug
I,
whatever you
I,
want.
I I'm training for the Chicago Marathon, which is in 3 weeks. I just finished my my peak 20 miler back on Saturday morning. So it's all taper from here. But that has been consuming a lot of my time, and so I will hopefully be back as a league specialist soon. Um, and if Leo will have me at least.
Oh, we'll see
Um,
about that.
we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. But it's been fun to watch these battles from afar, take a little bit of a step back, and hopefully, rejoin. The last time I battled like competitively was in the Milwaukee Regionals, which I did okay in. But I'm looking forward to getting back with the team and spreading some good vibes.
For sure, yeah, and it's gonna be pretty late. I mean, most people that know you go to sleep pretty early. So thanks a lot for coming out.
Yeah, it's
Um,
about 5 minutes past my bedtime right now, so
yeah, and we
we're
haven't even
we're gonna do
started.
great.
Yeah, so we'll let people trickle on in. Almost said stream on in, and then I realized that was a really bad pun. But oh hey, look, you got a fan already, and
Yay! I can't even read who that is.
it's Home Arrow Official.
Homie. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, homie. We're just gonna let people come on in real quick, and then we'll get right into the battles.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk a little bit about the order of events. So we're basically gonna play it in chronological order. So you are maybe not as privy to the order of events, but we're gonna have Great League up first. In fact, that's kind of your old position and
Mhm.
one that was filled by Lapras Logan last cycle, and this cycle it's being filled by Hollow Purple, Ben, as those of you guys may know. So you have some big shoes to fill. I don't know if they're like in a good way to fill or in a bad way to fill, but we will see very soon. In fact, maybe we can talk about the matchup a little bit. We'll just kind of hop on over. Ooh, we're in the middle of some stuff. I don't know what just happened there, and it's gone.
Nobody
All right,
saw
nobody saw anything.
anything.
But the teams are as follows. So Ben has Surfetch, G-Fist, Skarmory, Altaria, Cofagrigus, and Venusaur. Going up against LL Semi with their Metachamp, Swampert, Frostlass, Jumpluff, Drapion, and Lickitung. So what stands out to you?
I know that in Open Great League, especially this last season, Jumpluff has seen a huge jump in usage with Fairy Wind as the fast move. That really feels like a strict upgrade from Bullet Seed. It's tougher that it can't really like farm down like a Mudboy, like a Swampert as much anymore with Fairy Wind. But it still gets to those charge moves so fast and it hits them hard. So that's a good bring by LL Semi. Um, I have been hearing from the Stonks constantly that Surfetched is such a key part of any Open Great League roster. I do not have a Great League Surfetched yet.
Nope.
Basher Bubbles is trying his absolute hardest to provide me one.
Yeah.
But its moveset is just so good. It's squishy, but it has coverages for almost all of its weaknesses.
And just to give you a little bit more context, I don't know if you're aware of this, but since you last played it, Great League has gone through like 2 iterations, and now the latest iteration, there's basically a restricted list. You get to pick one out of Registeel, Walrein, poor Walrein, Galarian Stunfisk, Medicham, Sableye, and Trevenant. So we see on Ben's side, Ben opts to bring that G-Fisk, whereas LL Semi brings that Medicham. But aside from that, it's looking pretty good for our team. And so, we have a suggestion here. Make an alt account and get a Great League Surfetch from referral task.
That sounds like way too much work, but I'll see what I can do.
And then hatch eggs from it, and then get a little cup Salizzle, whatever.
Sandalit?
Yeah, Sandalit, and then also go back in time and get a bunch of the like the Sneasler and just do all of that.
Just a ton of achievable things, yeah, for sure. Easy.
But why don't we let me just make sure that everyone that's here is Leo here? If Leo's not here, I think we kick him out. Nah, he's not here. We kick him out.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. All right. So why don't we just get my video camera keeps failing. I don't know why. Very professional stream here, as you can tell.
Classic.
Deactivate. Reactivate. Pew pew. Here we are. All right. Let's just get started with the stream.
Let's get into it.
Let's play it. All right. So from what I saw Venusaur, G-Fisk, Altaria. So our team identified pretty early on that the Altaria, and we have this weird glitch. Altaria was super busted if you kept it away from Frostless. This is what it looked like. So
the only thing that it could counter.
Yeah, we really kind of made our team with that in mind. You'll also notice that this Venusaur here is a really weird CP, and that's because if you pick a high attack Venusaur, one that still survives just enough Powder Snows, you can't actually beat this Frostlass. So really everything is geared towards beating the Frostlass and having a clean sweep with Altaria. So Ben takes a little time and jumps into this G-Fisk.
And he's got to feel safe about this too, because again, as we talked about, that Frostlass is his only answer to Altaria. So he uses the G-Fisk to get this out of the way, and then he should have pretty smooth sailing the rest of the way, in theory.
Yep. And so there too, you can see the G-Fisk opting to shield there, just to keep a little bit more health, and we get this Frostlass out. Yeah.
Farm up some more energy. It's going to be feeling pretty good now, right? That's out of the way. Doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Medicham's going to get some farm, but that's okay. We can get the Earthquake off. Get a little bit of chip damage here.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if that's chip damage. That's like half of Medicham.
I think it's over half. I forget how much damage that does.
It does get Ice Punch, so that's a little bit annoying, but I think mostly going to be fine. L Semi opts to throw here. If it's a Psychic, it'll probably KO. And it's indeed a Psychic. KOs that Venusaur.
So that hurts.
All right. And now we have the Altaria. There's some chat about Drapion. And what is that?
Oh no, what move is that? What is that fast move?
Yeah, so something we did not catch in our scrims, and that's probably more of a team thing than anything, is the Ice Fang on the Drapion, which, really changes that. And even here, like you'll see, we feint out with almost 2 Sky attacks, so it was as close as it could be without being actually close. But that really throws our entire strategy out for a loop. Right now, Altaria is not as safe of a closer as you would think. There are 2 very solid answers, and things get a little bit messier. So let's see if Ben can readjust after that first game where we really got caught with our pants down by that moveset.
Yep.
All right.
It's a really good lead. Surfetch wins the CMP, although Swampert does get to the second Hydro Cannon before we get to the second Leaf Blade.
Wait, you know your move counts?
I do. I'm getting better at
Oh
this.
man, I thought you
I'm
were
not as
just
bad as I used to be.
I thought you were just here for vibes.
I mean that too.
Yeah.
Now, do you bait the Night Slash? He's running Brave Bird. That sneaky, sneaky person.
Yeah, so it turns out that according to the sims that Ben ran, Night Slash is only really, really good against that Frostlass, and it still takes 2 moves to kill. So he figured having that nuke in Brave Bird might just be better off here.
That's true. And the Leaf Blade is going to do so much damage to Frostlass anyway, so it's not bad.
Yep. So Ben opts to let that Surfetch go. We still have a Frostlass, or sorry, a Swampert out here, and Cough runs to the Lickitung, brings out the Scarm, and this Lickitung really is looking good now that the Surfetch is gone. And it just looks kind of a little bit tough backline for Ben's backline here.
Yeah, this is a weird matchup. You'd think that Skarmory resisting the body slams would have a pretty clean win here, but I think it's dependent on landing a Brave Bird towards the end of the matchup. And I think the Lickitung has to be throwing pretty optimally, which is never a safe assumption to assume your opponent's going to do that. But it's a weird matchup. It's close, but Licky can pretty comfortably win almost every time as long as it doesn't get hit with Brave Bird. But Ben opting to bring the Skarmory, which now is the safer of the 2 flyers that he brought in, knowing that we have ice moves everywhere that we look.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, this Lickitung is pretty much unbeatable with the Cough in the back. So it's just tough sledding from here. We'll see if Ben can adjust, but it's looking really hard. Ben's opting to try to get a little bit of farm, and then we get that Frostlass coming in to counter the Cough. I mean, I don't know if it's counter, but it's just the best use here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He can chunk with Shadow Claws, but he's going to have to get the 2 charge moves, and I don't think that can happen.
Yeah, so this is a really tough because going into this, we were hoping to actually come out with a lead early on, given how good our matchup looked on paper, at least with the preferred movesets. So, I have a message from Wendy. Apparently, there's no post in Stonk server with Dave E. Id. So, that's on you, Mr. Social Media Manager.
There's a what?
There's no post in the Stonk server. What is this?
Oh, was I supposed to post in there too? Okay, I will.
Yeah, so we're down shields. I mean, well, I guess both of us are shieldless, but this Swampert just puts on an Earthquake, kills the Cough, and, this is pretty much over. Lickitung just licks down.
I think he can lick down safely.
Yeah. And so
tough one to start. You always feel, when you go down 0-2 to beginning, you're always feeling pretty bad, but, in these team, because in solo Silph, 0-2, you've lost the set. But in team Silph, that 1 point can go a long way. So trying to push aside the feeling bad about starting off 0-2 and trying to get at least 1 point for your team is really important. But it's hard mentally to get over that hurdle.
Yeah. Especially when things are not going your way as early as game 1. Especially when you think you've won game 1 pretty handily and just get completely fanged out of existence. So we'll see what happens here. We have the Venusaur into Lickitung.
Lead. Venu wins the zeros here because Frenzy Plant just does so much damage.
Well, we'll see how Ben opts to play this out. Gets a few more Vine Whips in before opting to throw there.
Probably throwing right before the Venus or the Lickitung gets to the Body Slam.
Well, should get to a Body Slam at the same time the Venusaur does.
Oh, does it? See, I'm still bad at this game. I'm not that good at
it. Look at me. I'm the color.
So good time swap on their part. We're throwing the Frenzy Plant, which still will do a lot of damage to this Frost.
Yeah, the Frostlass still needs to shield. And this is actually really good. We now get our G-Fisk onto the Frostlass, which is pretty much where you want it. You want it away from that Metacham, want it away from that Swampert.
It's really your best counter to that Frostlass. I mean,
yeah. It also,
other things can handle it, but this is the most comfortable win for it.
It also is quite a good counter against the Drapion, but Ben is opting not to bring Altaria in game 3 just because there's not really a way to deal with both the Frostlass
Hmm.
and the Drapion. Let's see what Ben decides to do here.
Yeah, I'm curious if he goes for the no shield. Yeah,
No shield. We're gonna eat an Avalanche, opting to get some farm on one of his Pokemon.
with the Scarm, he's got it right.
Well, we'll see what we got going on here.
Look at Powder Snow down with a Venu before.
Yeah. And now we have the Lickitung.
Okay. Curious what he would have in the back. Maybe the Drapion again, or
Yeah. Jumpluff, I don't know. Jumpluff
tune
is
in to find out. I mean, Jump Off would obviously be a great situation. I guess this, whether he shields this or not, will be a big tell.
Hey, I've actually beaten Skarmory with Jumpluff, albeit my Jumpluff had like
Have you?
100 energy and acrobatics deals like 25%.
It's such a good move. I love Jump Off.
It's okay. It was fine. And then it wasn't. Ah, so Metachamp.
Okay, so this is still pretty good with 2 shields. Yeah, this is looking really good for Ben.
This actually gets a bit worse if it is Power Punch set, but I highly doubt it is. Yeah, it's the more standard Ice Punch Psychic. You know, you get that flexibility there. And that means our shields actually do have some value here, and that's Skarmory should be able to kind of get in and finish up the game.
Yeah, as a flyer, you never want to shield a power-up punch, but sometimes in situations like this, it's necessary.
Also, more importantly, it makes those subsequent counters a lot better and a lot more painful. But this here should just basically be, okay, Ben opts very good on not getting caught there. This Frostlass needs to throw just to use up that energy, but this pretty much seals up the game for Ben. Unless
Very
Ben,
good. Yeah, very good awareness by Ben to be watching for that switch.
Go for the Brave Bird, Ben.
Brave Bird, Brave Bird.
I don't know if this is the Brave Bird. I think it is, but they're all the same animation.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him hit Brave Bird. Yes.
Boom.
As if that matters.
I mean, it might have mattered. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would have been close.
Just get it real dead, real good. All right. Yeah. So going out of the first set of battles, we're 1 and 2, and we're hoping to really rally in the next one, which is Primeval 1. So Primeval is probably something that's a little bit less comfortable for both you and me, given that we're both not actively playing right now. But Basher basically said, you know, it's like a really interesting meta between. Let me just pull it up real quick. Let me pull up his words word for word, because that's how I roll.
You didn't do a copy paste at this time.
I did not, but it's waters, anti-waters.
I was expecting him to, but
waters, anti-waters, and anti-dragons, with rocks being the neutral option for offense. So we can kind of see that in Basher's team composition. You know, you have your Tapu Fini as your water type, and then you have your Dragonair, your Cradily as your anti-waters, with some other Pokemon like Celio for your anti-dragons, and kind of balancing it out with Sudowoodo. And Cradily giving that good neutral rock damage. Over on Hot Pocket side, we see, you know, like a pretty similar team. We have the Cradily and Dragonair mirrors, Celio as well. And then instead of the H-Quillfish, Tapu Fini, and Sudowoodo, Pocket's opting to bring Snorlax, Frostlass, and Lantern. So we'll see how those kind of those differences in team comp really play out.
At first glance, Sudowoodo looks pretty good. Counter do super effective against a number of things on his team. But, you know, everything can hit anything else, it looks like, in this meta. So who knows how this is going to go.
Yeah, apparently it's a very balanced meta from early vibes, early feels of the meta. So we'll see how that plays out in the games here. Oh wait, this is the one where I have to. This is the one where I have to jump forward. Technology.
Windows,
baby.
man. Windows.
I don't know if this is a Windows issue. Okay, so we got a little bit too forward, but Sudowoodo into Cradily. Sudowoodo does do super effective damage. Cradily obviously does super effective damage back with the bullet seeds. But this is an interesting swap here, and I think this is really a testament to how bulky Celio is. You know, opting to not eat that grass on the relatively weak Sudowoodo, and choosing to just soak it up on the Celio instead. Here,
Mhm.
I think Basher is just trying to look to put up a little bit more damage on the Cradily, make the Cradily spend its energy, because that Celio can take one Grass Knot just fine.
That's as much as it can take, and it can get to these body slams so fast.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
good catch by Pocket onto the Dragonair,
Yeah.
which will be taking super effective damage from Powder Snow, but not going to be enough to really make a huge
Exactly.
difference with how much little health it has.
And with the recent move updates, with Dragonair finally getting Aqua Tail to match, or Body Slam to match Aqua
Mhm.
Tail, now it's become pretty much a menace that can really churn out these charge moves on the
Mhm.
regular.
It has a really good damage output, and Basher does get the farm down here, which is really good.
But at what
Although
cost?
now he doesn't have a whole lot of health to show for it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And then this Frostlass coming in, the Frostlass, which was a scourge of Great League for us earlier, is now causing a bit of problems over here in our Primeval Field 1. Basher goes for that combo move, Rock Slide after an Aqua Tail, and just going to hopefully try to ride out these two shields. The problem
Mhm.
is the Sudowoodo does not get to these Rock Slides nearly as fast as this Frostlass gets to any of its moves.
Yeah, Frosthouse just generates energy so much, and Avalanche is such a hard-hitting move, especially with a Pokemon from a Frostlass's stats. It's going to do a lot of damage, even resisted damage against the Sudowoodo here.
Yep. And so good catch on Pocket's part. Um, Basher opting to just go straight for it. The Cradely's going to shield. We're shieldless. Oh, the Cradily actually already has the move, so it makes total
Mhm.
sense why you would shield that. And this pretty much looks like a loss for us here. Grass Knot takes that down, and we're going to try to Bullet Seed down here, or do we have more energy? Oh, we have actually 2 moves loaded up, so that's pretty
Yeah.
much games for us there. We have a comment in the chat from first time chatter, Bubble Rapper 2020, a new team member of ours. They said, "Love the shirt, D-Gil. Detroit, what?
Hey, Motor City.
Do we like Detroit here?
Eh,
It's like one of the worst cities I've visited.
well, where have you visited? We don't have to
Well,
talk about this right now, but
the short problem was I stayed in a Motel 6 that was like an opioid.
okay, so you cannot blame that on the city of
Yeah.
Detroit if you
Oh,
chose to stay in a Motel 6.
yeah. That was on me. But the convention center wasn't much better. There
Okay,
was no
all
poop
right.
in the toilet of the convention center, so I guess it is better. But
I,
I'm never going
yeah.
back. I'm never going back to Detroit. I'm never going back to Michigan.
The that's true. You've had some bad Michigan experiences. The revamped business district downtown is very nice with the new sports arenas. All right, I guess we should talk about Pokemon.
Yes. So Cradily
Um,
into Celio. We saw Basher swap into a loaded Cradily before. Now let's see what happens on an even playing field. Of course, Cradily gets to that
mhm.
move pretty fast. It takes 4 bullet seeds to get to the Grass Knot. And Grass Knot
And
it
we know he
goes.
can eat one grass knot, but that's about all it can take.
3, 4. Excellent move timing by Basher.
Mhm.
And we'll see how much this Aurora Beam does. Super effective. Nearly kills it out.
Very good. I think he could survive this grass knot.
Yes.
It's close.
So
Choosing to
Basher
double shield.
Basher opts to go down 2 shields to 0. We'll see if that pays out or pays off for him. Kind of risky this early in the game, but
Mhm.
we'll see
Really
if,
valuing the health on that Celio.
yeah. And we immediately get it into this Lantern. Immediately swaps out to Sudowoodo. Unfortunately, Sudowoodo is going to eat Surfs pretty quickly.
Mhm.
We'll see if...
Basher
Yeah, go ahead.
Basher's registering that lantern is running
Oh,
Spark though, which makes it a little bit better than if it were running Water
yeah.
Gun.
We were getting word in chat that this is game 3. All I'm going to say is I was given these videos by my teammates, and I have no sense of what's game 2 or game 3. But we can jump to game... We'll play game 3. Whatever, we'll play game 3. We're already halfway through.
Yeah, the end result's the same.
The drama might be
If
different.
only switching the order of the videos made the outcome different. So Sudowoodo will go down here to the Surf. And this is tough here, obviously.
Very, very tough.
Frostlass is going to be doing a lot of damage against this Dragonair.
especially with no shields.
But Dragonair can deal it back.
I'm trying to emote, and it's dying right now. Yeah, we eat a Shadow Ball. Oh, come on. That's just... I don't know what the damage profiles are, but that's just mean.
Disrespectful.
That cannot be the right
Disrespectful.
move.
Get Pocket in chat. We need to have a talk with him.
Well, Pocket's up a shield, so he's gonna shield that.
Yeah. Usually, Celio runs with Aurora Beam in Open Great League, but in this meta, apparently.
Wait, time.
What did I say? I meant Water Plus.
Can we rewind that? When have you seen a Celio in Open Great League?
I have Shadow. There was a very short period of time before Walrein became meta that Celio was not common, but you did see it in Open Great League every once in a while.
Fine. All right. Well, let's go into game 2 or maybe 3. I can't tell which one's which. But we have lost 2 games here. Let's see if Basher can go back in time and win a game. So Celio into Frostlass. So here is where you would want Water Pulse. But I think Basher opting to go with that Aurora Beam just to hit Cradily a little bit better. And we'll see what's going on. Hey, Leo, what's up? Thanks for finally tuning in. You should have a talk. You should have a talk with your teammate to give me videos that are in the right order. Just saying. Aurora Beam does a lot of... No, it doesn't do a lot much damage, but...
Not that much.
We're just...
But honestly, without Aurora Beam, Cradily would run wild on this lineup. So I get why you have the Aurora Beam bring. Plus, you have other things that can work against Frostlass, too.
Yep. A little visual delay there, but we'll see what happens. If the Celio is bringing in the more standard Aurora Beam, then this Sudowoodo is going to be super deado. That's a bad joke. I'm not going to... I'll workshop that one. But we'll take that Rock Slide. And then Frostlass comes on in. Sudowoodo does a little dance, has a little fun. Eats Avalanche.
Ops to no shield. We'll see how this goes.
No, eats Shadow Ball.
I'm surprised Sudowoodo tanks that. It's not the tankiest Pokemon out there, but it lives exactly as long as it needed to in this.
Leo, this is literally why I told you need to talk to your teammates, because the videos were given to me out of order. Warner did tell me ahead of time. He said some of the videos are out of order. I was like, I have no way of confirming yes or no to this, so we're rocking and rolling with this. I don't know what you want me to do about this. This Frostlass is putting out Shadow Balls like no other, and we get this very nice lineup of our Dragonair into the Cradily, which you can Grass Knot all you want, but it's not going to hurt that much. Stone Edge, a little more so.
Stone Edge is scary, but...
Yeah. Ops the shield there, but this is looking pretty good for the good guys here. We're the good guys, obviously. Just in case that wasn't clear.
Clearing that up.
Yeah, in case that wasn't clear at all.
The Dragonair really just has so much raw damage output. Yeah. It's really nice to see it shine in this meta, I feel like.
Definitely. And so interesting here that, we've pretty much rocked the same 4 Pokemon. Sudowoodo, Cradily. Did we even bring our own Cradily? Did we just do Sudowoodo, Celio, Dragonair all 3 matches?
I think so. Battles? I really wanted to see the Quillfish in battle, but no luck this time. Maybe next week.
Stone Edge. Dragonair just survives that. 2, 3. All right. So I think we have a Mon in the back, so we're going to be fine. But yeah, that was a little bit close. All right. We're going for the Body Slam on the Frostlass.
Will it be enough?
Yes, just enough.
Yep.
And then this Cradily is empty.
Powder Snow.
Exactly. Yep. So continuing a strong trend of the Stonks getting 1-2s, we are now 2 and 4. So a little bit of an early deficit, but nothing that you can't climb out of. So we're gonna hop on over to. Is this the right one? Yeah. FS4. So that's no wonder. That's why Leo ran away. Wendy says DKO hasn't stayed up this late since the Obama administration. I don't think he stayed up this late, like during the Bush years,
Since
honestly.
the Bush administration,
Yeah.
man.
But basically, next up we have our captain, Leo Geo Zero, going up against the Dodge.
Leopard geometry.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that though. But
Let's just take a moment to appreciate the Wadaj's running Malamar, which is Leo's favorite meme Pokemon. He knows it's not actually good at all, but he insists on talking about it all the time. So we just need to acknowledge the Malamar in the room for a second.
so Sorcerous on its first occasion was a favorite of mine, but since then it's definitely changed quite a bit. Malamar is fucking sick. SMH. I mean, it might be good. Might be good. Might be good.
Maybe.
I have an XL level 50 easy, one of my favorites. You know what sucks? You know what sucks? I have a rank 2 and that's level 49.5. I neither have the XL nor do I want to actually even get there. It's like it just makes me sad. This makes me really
Is it
sad.
good in Ultra? That sounds horrible.
Well, it might be good in some bull crap field faction thing.
Ultra
so,
field medals?
yeah,
No.
here we are.
Metas? No.
Here we are with our lives. All right. With that, we're gonna go into that. So it looks like we're leading double with a Frostlass Azu backline. So Leo opting to use that Azu is kind of like a very thick, chunky bunny to soak up energy. Frostlass is again as much of a menace in this field, perhaps even more so than it was in Primeval and Great League. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, as Leo said, Frostlass is just the best mod in this meta, and you have to plan for it no matter what your team comp is. So you bring it, and then you bring two things that can hopefully answer it.
All right, we got double into Azu. So double, a new kind of feature in. Oh my god, that's how it attacked. This is hilarious. Holy crap, I didn't realize that's how it attacked.
Have you not seen this before?
No, I've never used one.
Okay, Sage, we need to see you do this fast attack animation. You're
I'm not
famous in our area for your fast attack animations. We need to see a double kick.
I'm not going to do that on stream. I'm not going to do that on stream. But this thing is tanky.
Very tanky. Double has great stats, and it finally got the move that it deserves to really shine.
Oh my goodness gracious. Do a double kick? I'm not doing that, yo.
So we got the double wild charge here. We'll either win switch or get a shield. Leo's probably fine with either.
Wendy, are you not subscribed yet? Are you not subscribed? I mean, maybe if you give me like money, I'll like demean myself. So if you have your Twitch Prime subscriptions, feel free to pass it over to me.
Sage OnlyFans when? What?
You've been following since October 29th, 2020, Wendy. Yeah, so Alolan Grimer coming in here, pretty much a poor man's Skuntank, a rich man's Skuntank. It's a very expensive build, but looking pretty good.
Rich in all the wrong ways.
Basically, yeah. I mean, Muck or Grimer XL, not too bad, but Leo is forced to shield here.
Mm-hmm. You talk about trying to get alignment with a Frostlass, and Grimer is probably not the one that you wanted to get it on.
But we'll see. I mean,
crunch, but it can still do pretty well against it.
So the thing about a lot of these dark poisons, at least in this meta, at least in years past, is the sticking point between the dark poisons versus Frostlass is how much energy can you get on your dark poison before the Frostlass comes in. You can't ever swap in against a Frostlass, but you also get wrecked by a Beedrill here. You can't ever swap in against a Frostlass, but if you get a little bit of farm down, just like what we saw with Dage, I don't even know how to say this, man, get against that double, then you can start winning against the Frostlass. So that's just something that Wadage was very, very cognizant of and decided to just go for that. So
I'm a little shook that Hydro Pump didn't do more to this Beedrill.
It's a regular
Beedrill.
Beedrill.
I rolled upside down a little bit right now.
No comment on your cool catch. I'm not gonna comment on your cool catch because you let the Alolan Grimer farm down your double. So we're gonna stick with that one. But yeah, so basically a lot of this really does come down to how much extra energy you can get in your dark poison. And so kind of, at least in years past, the Alolan Muck was really people really liked Alolan Muck. Here, I'm going to pause this here. People really liked Alolan Muck because it could keep pace with the Frostlass, especially if it had one Snarl ahead.
Mhm.
But we end up losing that game, and we're down once again. Very familiar 0-1, and double into Azu again, so also very familiar. We'll see how Leo plays this out this time. Weak connection, that's a good start. Dude, this is hilarious. I do kind of want to replicate this. This is freaking hilarious. It's so inefficient.
Good.
It's so inefficient.
If anyone sees Sage Shadows on the streets, ask him to do his Gyarados impression. That's the best one by far.
Is
But
it?
we'll keep things PG-13 here.
I think it is. I think it is actually. All right, so let's see if Leo learns from his previous mistakes. This time, we get a late throw by the Azu, which is gonna make us commit a shield. Oh my God, Windy! Windy just subscribed. Okay, well,
Windy.
I mean, he did put his money where his mouth is, so I guess I have to put my feet where my
See, that needs to be your sub redemption thing. Is you do a fast move animation on stream.
Kind of. I don't know if people want to see that, but I mean, I am a man of my word. So we're down 2 shields this time just to get this, but we get a little bit more energy. It's a very similar play pattern here. We have this A Grimer coming in. The doubles at higher energy, but we also have more HP. We swap out instantly. So Leo this time very cognizant of the fact that he cannot let this A Grimer get ahead in energy.
And also clearing those self debuffs on the double and hopefully having some energy for later on might pay off in later.
That crunch nearly kills. Leo opts to get a move off there. And then this is going to get farmed down. So no shields. Let's see what Leo opts to do here. He's going to go double and then just go for a body slam. Interesting play there. I think he wanted to go for that wild charge, but the energy just didn't quite line up. So it goes for that. It's going to force a throw on this from this A Grimer. Yeah, I feel like with these 3-turn moves, the energy deltas just get so confusing that I'm like, I'm just going to get out of here. So here's what I'm talking about here. You see that extra Snarl. Let's just get to the Snarl post a little bit faster.
Yup. How does this matchup in the Zero Shield change if Muck is running Poison Jab?
It's probably way worse.
Yeah, I know it doesn't get to the Dark Pulse nearly as quickly, but...
Well, yeah. And then we'll see if Leo gets to that. I don't know if this... Yeah. Boom. So very nice play this time. Very well adjusted from game 1. I think I am supposed to do a double kick, so I'm going to have to pause it right here. Give me a second.
I like that play of... oh, God. Got stretched. Don't want to throw out your back.
Dude, I can't get 3 turns. 3-turn counts really hard, actually.
That was fantastic.
3-turn. That was more like a 4-turn move. Like that was a very bad double kick.
Someone needs to take a screenshot of that frame where you're just like on all fours on your bed or on the couch there.
3. All right, well, you guys get the point.
I do want to say I liked Leo's decision to swap out of the double.
Oh my God, Leo just subscribed. This is basically OnlyFans at this point, except instead of OnlyFans, I get Pokemon fast move animations. Dude, I'm tired. That was tough. The daybed kept moving back and forth, so it was like really adding an extra turn to my moves. It's not as good of a move when your bed's
moving. It's a 4-turn.
Yeah, it's a 4-turn move. All right, what were you saying?
I was saying I liked Leo's play of swapping out of that double because that really, by getting that extra body slam off on the Alolan Grimer, I think that kind of, and forcing it to throw energy to KO the double, I think that really helped out in the end game.
Definitely.
So that was a good play.
All right, so we're trying to play guest Mon number 3 for this game. I don't know why he's so insistent on this, but okay, sure, whatever. After the first 2 are revealed. I'm awful at guessing backlines, so are you any good?
Same.
Okay, great.
No, I'm horrible at it.
You know, if you guess one and I guess one,
Basher is
we have a
Basher
fifty
is
percent
very
chance.
good at it.
We have a fifty
Basher is
percent
a
chance
wizard.
if we
Yeah.
guess different choices. Okay, so what was it? It was Azu and then a
Azu
Grimer.
Grimer. Oh god. I bet we see the Beedrill again.
Azu Grimer. I don't freaking know, dude. Azu Grimer? What the hell? Azu, you want to be double strong against Azu counters?
Mm, I guess that's true.
I'm just completely befuddled. It's gonna be like a Celio or something garbage.
Please be the Malamar. That'd be so amazing.
It's probably the Malamar.
We need more Malamar in our lives.
Azu Grimer, he ran game 1 with B, game 2 with Frost. So it's gonna be Celio or Malamar. I'm gonna go Celio just because it makes no sense at all.
It's the definition of no think vibe only.
I'm going with Celio. Celio's busted.
We need a Celio powder snow animation from you, David. That's another good one.
But what does Celio do? I need like
It's just
Beedrill.
like chest slams.
This is a Beedrill. Oh my god, this is so boring. I thought we were playing like some.
Hey, I
like,
was right.
I thought we were doing like some like 50 Galaxy Head brain thing. I'm just like, oh, it's a Beedrill. Okay, cool. Yeah. So unfortunately,
yeah, baiting the Hydro Home. So he gets the shield, which is good. But these poison jabs just do so much damage to Azu.
Leo says he's not gonna watch the battle, and then he proceeds to try to justify why he made a 50-50 play. But he did subscribe to me, so I don't particularly
give him some slack.
I'm gonna give him some Discord. Leo goes for that play rough, trying to get a little bit of energy. Now this is actually pretty tricky here because you come in with this Frostlass, you soak up some energy, but then your Raichu needs to kill this Beedrill, and then needs to kill what? Well, does it even kill the Beedrill? I don't think so. I think they have tons of energy. And this Achu is going to eat a drill run and get drilled. Oh, man.
Yeah.
A drill run. That's an animation I could do.
Getting that Azu pinned against the Beedrill it's tough to climb out of that hole.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess, like, to Leo's credit, you know, it is a 50-50 play, right? Like, you're seeing Azu Grimer, and then you're trying to figure out if there's Frostlass or Beedrill, and you pick one, and you know, kind of you have to deal with what's left. So why don't we can maybe reconstruct that game, just because Leo was very insistent on trying to defend himself for whatever reason. 1, 2, 3. So it is. So knowing what we know now, Deakill, Raichu into Azu. Our other Mons are this Azu and this Frostlass. They insta swap into a Grimer. What would you do there?
I think I still go into Frostlass because we know how to pull that 2-shield, right?
Yeah, I probably too would safe swap the Frost after it takes out Grimer. Yeah, I probably would still just go into the Frostlass. I would much rather have my Achu on the Azu. It's just bad luck that they have a Beedrill in the back, but I mean,
yeah.
I think if anything, I would maybe try to soft lose against Grimer and then have Azu or Achu with way more energy.
Yeah,
but it's
Achu with energy can flip almost any of those matchups. It's just yeah. I guess that's true. I think hindsight maybe keep a shield, and then try to get some farm.
I think either way, if you're thinking it's a toss up between Beedrill or Frostlass, you're gonna want a shield anyway. So you might need to just figure out some way to get more energy on Achu. Both of those are relatively fast Mons in terms of their charge moves, and you're gonna need shields because Achu is like fragile. So that's probably the only thing I would consider. Maybe instead of trying to win with the Frostlass, you would try to either soft lose, try to take a shield off, and go up with a shield advantage is probably the only thing I would try differently. But it's hard.
Agreed.
Like what is that? Azu double poison jabber.
Yeah.
What's your Azu gonna do? It's
Unless you can get it on the Azu, but at this point you want the H on the Azu because it's
yeah.
the better. Yeah.
I just got all comped.
Just tough sledding.
Got all comped. All right, let's move on to Ultra League. So, again, actually, let me update the scores here. We can pause that. My back pains, dude. I don't think Leo. That's not back pains. That's just standard. That's standard how you get some. Double click. Energy. But moving into to Ultra League. So unlike the last time you watched a battle, Ultra League now has its own field. I am not going to try to summarize what the field is in terms of its ban list because the ban list makes no sense to me. But the meta pretty much, it's really long and confusing. But the meta pretty much is centralized around Regirock, Cresselia, and Drapion according to our Ultra League specialist, Warner. So you see him bring all three of those mons here. And then supplanting that, you get some dragon types. You really want some nice neutral water damage. So even on Wind Waker's side, you see that Lapras, Goodra with Muddy Water, still just good enough. Drapion, Shadow with the Aqua Tails add up. Dragalge, dragon damage, water chunks. And some ways to kind of beat up on Regirock and Cresselia are really the goals here.
I think seeing the triple dragon on Wind Waker's side is interesting. But Lycanroc on Warner's looks surprisingly good. I guess if Lapras is running like Water Gun or something like that, it might not be as good, but it can do pretty well against a lot of that team.
Yeah. But we can even see the similarities here. We have a Drapion on both sides. One's Shadow, one's not. We have a Shadow Snorlax and a Dialga. And Wind Waker opts to bring Goodra, Dragalge, Lapras to Warner's Regirock, Cresselia, and Lycanroc. So we'll see how that plays out. But early signs show that Warner has a lot of rock typing that may suffer from that strong neutral water damage on Wind Waker's side.
Also, just seeing Ultra League Dialga in action is fascinating.
Yeah.
When do you ever see that have play?
It's squish. All right, so we got Dragalge into Regirock. Regirock does get to that Stone Edge before the Dragalge gets to its first move. That's 5.5 seconds to 6 seconds. I'm sure you knew that, Digo.
Yep. You were one step ahead of me. You took the words out of my mouth.
Exactly.
I like to run Regirock and Open Ultra every once in a while, and that lock-on Stone Edge combination is really strong. It's a hard-hitting move, and I get to it really fast.
I hate your kind. I hate all the Stone Edgers in the world. My Talonflame hates you all. Gets that second Stone Edge. These Aqua Tails not nearly doing as much damage as I thought, but conversely, these Dragon Tails dealing a bit more than I thought. So it kind of evens out.
The Dragon Tails are really adding up, and you get the feeling that
Warner opts to just let that go, content with being up a shield. And what is he going to come in with?
Could probably come in farm down with Dialga, I would imagine, right? I mean, you'll be taking neutral from those Dragon Tails, but
so one thing to note is that Dialga in Ultra League not nearly as busted as it is in Master League. You can see Dialga's taking quite a bit of damage from those Dragon Tails already. This debuff is going to kind of hurt it even further. And Warner is going to opt to Thunder this Drapion. See what happens here. Drapion shields, down shields. And Warner's going to try to catch there. Ooh, look at that Ice Fang tech here. So Warner...
What is that fast move?
Warner seeing what happens to dragons against a Drapion with Ice Fang opts to do the same. And it's actually going to be pretty good here in the mirror. Putting up some good neutral damage.
And not a bad choice on his part. I mean, seeing his line, I mean, that Ice Fang super effective damage against Goodra and Dragalge is going to be very helpful.
Definitely. And so these Aqua Tails are adding up, but we'll see. The Snorlax is the last mon, and so this is going to be pretty tough now. We'll see how Warner navigates this. He does get a crunch off. No shields left. Will he opt to save the shield for the D-Knight or... Okay, does get the Aqua Tail off on time. Kind of scared me there for a second.
Thought he was going to go for the crunch. I wasn't sure if he was going to get there in time, but
He was not going to get there
so
in
at
time.
least you get a little bit of chip damage here.
Farms down, or tries to farm down. Has to... You have to shield here, right? Yeah, he
You gotta
shields.
respect the superpower here, right?
Yeah, it's never superpower unless you don't shield, then it's superpower.
It never.
Never. Until it is. All right, so Warner does have quite a bit to navigate with this Dogga, but he just opts to just farm down and then kills off this Drapion. So very well played by Warner. Assuming this is actually game one, which Warner has not been the most reliable on giving me the right game orders. This is the first time we've picked up a early lead, which is nice. We'll see if we can extend that out against Wind Waker in game two. We lead Shadow Snorlax and then Shadow Snorlax, the Ditto.
It's just a game of chicken of who's going to throw superpower first, pretty much.
Yep. Though, I mean, honestly, you can just body slam down repeatedly and just say, hey, if you wanna give up switch and debuff, go ahead. Warner blinks first, throws the body slam. Probably would have built up to at least a body slam and a superpower before throwing, just to opt out there. Warner's just gonna throw both of them. I'm wondering if he's planning on swapping, but we'll see.
He gets a shield, so that's good. And do you call the superpower?
Body slams. The awkward thing here is that there's not really anything to catch the superpower on.
If you had a ghost, that would change things, but
yeah. Shield to body
slam. Did he bring Regirock into this one? He could try to catch on the Regirock, but
yep, this is going to be a superpower. But can you commit the shield? It's 100% a superpower. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He's gonna lose that game of chicken there. Yeah, I think you have to go to Alga here.
Yeah, you have to.
And the Regirock, so this is really awkward now for the Regirock. Your Dialga is not very thick, but it's gonna have to give its shield to Regirock because Regirock cannot deal with a superpower. Regirock cannot deal with repeated Aqua Tails from this Drapion. This Drapion is gonna churn out Aqua Tails really fast. And so Warner has a choice to make here. Is he going to shield here, or is he going to save the shield for the Regirock? He chooses to save the shield for the Regirock. This is going to be a crunch.
That's a good choice. Regirock with the shield can do a lot of damage, especially when there's no shields on the other side.
The problem here, though, is that this Drapion just gets free reign on Aqua Tails. It probably has 2 Aqua Tails stored up already. And yeah, they're not dealing like knockout damage, but they are dealing just enough damage where you don't want to shield, and we just missed that a little bit off. I think that was an extra lock on, and so we have to eat another Aqua Tail. That's like what, about 25% damage, and here's all this extra energy. You can't even risk trying to farm down or get a little bit more energy because it's going to churn out Aqua Tails every 4 poison stings. Pretty rough. And then of course there's a Lapras at the end. Plus that Snorlax is lurking in the back. So it's a lot of Pokemon that they have to deal with. Basically, Warner's just he just does not have enough shields and HP to get this Regirock across to the finish line. Folks blast down this, or not even down, this Lapras is just still there, doing just fine. And let's see if Warner Warner knows. He sees the writing on the wall and opts to just let the Surf kill. So that's the problem with the Regirock there, right? We saw, what do we see? We saw Snorlax with its super effective superpower. We saw Drapion with its super effective Aqua Tail. We saw Lapras with the superpower Surf, and Regirock had nowhere to go. So we'll see how Warner adjusts for game 3. My cat's being annoying.
Yeah, I might consider leaving Regirock on the bench in this one, but I mean, it's such a good mon otherwise. You know, trying to plan around it could be tricky.
Warner doubles down on the rock types.
Lycanroc could be spicy. I kind of like that. I like this idea here.
5, 6. So this could be anything. Probably an Ice Beam.
Is Ice Beam the meta move here?
Oh, I don't know.
Skull Bash?
Probably not Skull Bash.
I guess without the dragons, it would be.
Opting to go for this Thunder here. Bubble Wrapper, who is our Ultra League alternate and all around Ultra League stud says needed Lycanrod in that one, and that definitely seems right. You just needed some counter damage there.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea to go right for Thunder. You want to really apply pressure right off the get go
Definitely.
for either get shields or health.
We'll see what happens here. Second Ice Beam does KO the Dalga, and
Yep.
so what do you opt to do here? The Lapras
Can
is
you come in and form with Lycanroc? Is it too much health to farm down?
probably to.
You may have to shield a Surf,
You have
but
to shield Surf, and that also is the dumbest counter animation ever. I'm not going to do that. You have to pay me a lot
until
more.
someone else subs, and then you're,
You have to pay me
stuck.
a lot more for that one.
Ooh, that does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah,
I
this
don't
thing
like
is
that.
this thing is not very bulky. This entire team, aside the Regirock's pretty bulky, but the typing does it no favors at all. So Psychic
Yeah, for
Fangs.
sure.
This is gonna be interesting. Really weak move against super effective. What happens? It doesn't do that much.
Not a lot. But you're getting the debuff, which helps.
Well, they're
Will it
not
be enough?
switch locked, so they can just swap out
Yeah.
whenever they want. So they're gonna swap the clear probably. Yep, swap the
But Warner
clear.
comes in with the Regirock, and we met with that Aqua Tail machine Drapion again.
Yeah. And that Shadow is really helping put up that extra damage, which is quite nice here. Especially with most of the damage output coming from this Regirock, obviously from its charge moves, you're not really concerned with Shadow versus not Shadow. So getting the extra damage is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Like in rough, rock rough. That's not even a pun. That's just literally its name.
That's just the name.
Ops let it go. Dragalge with the shield up just gets to basically farm down with Dragon Tail. And you can see here the kind of how punishing it is to have so much of your damage output be locked up in charge moves. You really don't have a chance. And this is very similar with Registeel, but Registeel does get nice typing in Steel Rock, comparatively less so. So despite our early win, we still end up going 1-2 once again, and now our backs are pretty much against the wall here. 4-8, still winnable, but you really need to make some magic happen in the last 3 sets. We have 3 game losses to give. So we'll jump on over to another, not ferocious, Primeval bout this time in the second slot. Ferocious was a Silph Cup, so
That's true. That's true. You're not totally off base there.
Don't get off my back, man. And so now we have.
Wait, important question. Do we have fridge footage? Oh wait, no, never mind. Because Gundam didn't record his own matches.
It's still fridge. You'll see what it looks like.
It is okay.
But we'll just kind of jump into it. Let's look at the team. So, Sad Munir, I don't know how to say that, but hopefully I'm saying it right. Sad Munir, very similar team. Is this identical to Pocket's team?
It might be.
I think it's identical to Pocket's team. Over here on Gundam's side, we have a Dendene instead of a Celio. Otherwise, these mons.
Pocket had Lantern.
Pocket had Lantern, that's right. Thank you.
Instead of Sudowoodo.
Yeah. Gundam has one mon away from Basher's team as well, I believe. We're short a Celio, up at Dendene, and we'll see how that plays out. So
the Dragonair just looks so strong here.
Yeah,
as long as you can, give it shields against the Frostlass or the Celio.
We do indeed have fridge recordings.
Fridge footage.
Yeah. I tried cropping as best as I can. This is the one that's like a minute in, so I do need to scrub quite a bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Pseudo into Celio. Pseudo
pretty good lead.
Yeah, win this. We swap out into Frostlass. And let's see what happens here. So Gundam looks like he's opting to go for that first Rock Slide. Obviously, the Frostlass swaps in fast enough, gets to its Avalanche. And Gundam opts to not shield. Avalanche comes in, deals quite a bit of damage. And we're going to have a Rock Slide.
Live long enough to get to 2 Rock Slides, ideally.
So it isn't, because that Frostlass came in on 1. So instead,
I would just
switches into Dragonair, which is very interesting. You're gonna get to the moves at the same time, but this
mhm.
Frostlass is looking quite threatening. And do remember that this next avalanche is gonna come after 5 powder snow, so that's the first one. Little bit mistimed move there. Looking to maybe farm down. We'll see if that works, but that's 4 powder snows away. 2, 3, 4. You're not making it there. 5. Oh, wow, you do make
Very,
it there.
you got it.
Very,
It's
very
very
close.
close.
Yeah, that was.
So more powder snow damage here.
Mm,
But again, Dragonair's damage output's just so good with Body Slam now.
yeah, that was very, very risky, and I guess it paid off there. But they do get a big farm down here. We're
And it
going
gets the next Body
we're going
Slam.
for an Aquatail here.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe a mistap.
Could be. Just
Maybe
5 head play. He wants more farm with Sudowoodo.
yeah,
Or
maybe
do you go Frost here?
goes
Yeah, the Frost
Frost.
makes sense.
So this is gonna probably eat a Water Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that Water Pulse. Deals about maybe 30-40%.
Not terrible amount. You
Now the
can't really farm this down. You're gonna have to
no,
throw up energy.
yeah. So Gundam just opts to throw instantly. Um, Not quite KOs. And is this gonna be
Yeah,
another Water Pulse?
that's a tough call.
It's a
I don't
Body
know what I
Slam.
would do here.
That's nice.
Yeah, good no shield.
And Snorlax, this is gonna be pretty tough here. So we're gonna want this
Yeah.
Avalanche. But even with this Avalanche, that Sudowoodo is not long for this world. It's going to have to do a lot of work
Mhm.
to get that damage to bridge. Gundam swaps into it instantly, but
Well, also important to note that's a cowboy hat Snorlax as well.
it is
So
indeed.
just props to our opponent for that
Yeah.
slight flex.
Yeah, but this is pretty over, I think. Well, we'll see how much this Rock Slide does, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, you're still gonna need quite a few counters to take it out, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Never mind.
So that's game right there. Kind
Yeah.
of an interesting play. I don't know if that Aquatail was premeditated or just kind of just kind of slam a button, any button. But we'll
Yeah.
go on to game 2. We've got Snorlax into Pseudo.
So good match here. You have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instantly swaps
That's
into Frostlass. I do want to commend our opponent on that very, very fast swap. Both swaps have been incredibly fast. So that's been
Mhm.
very, very nice. And that really does punish staying in with Sudowoodo, especially with that extra snuck in Powder Snow here, right? Really, you're 5 away from the next Avalanche. So that's going to be really punishing. 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. Going a little bit over. Maybe a Shadow Ball this time?
Good counting by him.
Nope, another Avalanche.
Yeah, you can get a couple extra powder stones to KO.
So yeah,
Frostnest is such a strong save swap here.
exactly.
Um, kind of like what was it Basher was saying earlier.
3,
It's such a
4,
Frostnest is such a
5,
dominating mon
6.
in all these metas, really.
Yes. So you're going to have to shield here. And now the question is, how much do you feel comfortable hitting? 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's
Great swap.
brutal.
And that's one of those where there was no rhyme or reason to when he threw that. So it feels like that was just kind of like, our
So,
opponent kind of pulled that one out of his butt, and it
well, on the
and it worked.
opponent's side, the opponent knows it's going to be between 3, 4, 5, or 6 powder snows, and yeah, you have to guess there,
True.
but all more often than not, you can probably limit it down to the 4th or 5th extra powder snows, just because you do want extra energy without giving your opponent's Frostlass a time to throw their own Shadow Ball back. So I think
That's
it's like
fair.
you can limit it down to 50-50, but that's still brutal no matter what, like no matter how you
Yeah,
slice it.
absolutely.
So Frostlass comes in. Gundam is smashing that swap button on the Dinair. We'll
Gotta
see
start
this
getting hit on Dragon Breath damage here.
their own Dragonair. Okay. Oh no, just into a Frostlass.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
brutal.
tough.
Yeah. I don't know how I would have played that out. I guess like yeah, you have to swap in, but this is game over right here.
That catch just did it. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have been in such a better situation if he didn't get that
Yep.
catch, but you know.
Yeah, this is game over.
There's only so much you can do sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know if that auto swap is the 100% right play. I feel like you have two very dead Mons. You might just want to let one of the Mons feign out, and then you have like one to catch.
Yeah.
But it's easy for us to sit here and like say, oh, that's like the only way you could have won. It's a lot harder when you're playing the games. But we'll see if Gundam can recover in game 3. Sudowoodo no Frostlass. So this time the Frostlass is actually on time. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. And Gundam gets to throw that. Ooh, whoa. What's going on here? A little bit of recording lag, I guess. Rock slide. And this Frostlass is on 8 now. So tries to catch on Tapu Fini. Does he catch the Avalanche? He catches the Avalanche.
Very
Nice.
good catch on Gundam's part.
Yeah. Runs it into Celio, though, so that's pretty brutal.
That's tough, but Moonblast can do a good chunk of damage here.
Yeah, so we'll see how much these body slams do versus Moonblast. Body slam. Boom. Go straight for the Moonblast.
Yep.
Kind of nice given how many shields they've already invested. They've used 1 shield already.
That's quite a bit of damage.
Yeah,
Doesn't get the he does get the debuff.
Yep, gets the debuff. The opponent timed it just right in order to get their move.
Very good.
Gundam opts to just let this Tapu Fini go, gives whatever Mon it wants, that Frostlass, of course, a little extra farm. Probably another body slam. It's not going to hurt too much on the Frostlass. And now we get it just straight Powder Snow down. Ooh, Water Pulse instead.
No, it is. It still doesn't do a whole lot, and you've still got 2 shields for your backline, so this is still a pretty favorable
6,
position.
7. All right, runs it into Sudowoodo. A little bit of extra energy on the Snorlax might make it a little bit closer than you'd like. Otherwise, you get a lot more time to just counter down with the Sudowoodo. But, I mean, on the flip side, you do get a lot more energy on your Frostlass, so, it's kind of pick your poison. The opponent just opts to let's let the Snorlax go. Let's see if Gundam opts to shield or save both shields for Frostlass. Gundam says, whatever, take it.
That's fine.
Comes
Get
in
an
with the
extra powder
Frostlass.
snow or 2.
Now, do you shield here? You probably have to shield here.
I think you have to.
Okay, Gundam doesn't choose to shield.
Or not.
Takes a body slam, which is nice.
That's fine.
So does the 2 shields and a lot of energy with the Frostlass get us to the Promised Land? So first things first, you got to deal with this Frostlass.
Yep.
Opts to throw with the Shadow Ball. The Frostlass has 3 Powder Snow since it came in. I don't remember how much it had before. But our opponent's opts to shield.
But you have so much energy,
5,
why not, babe?
6. Gets caught again on the Celio. Gonna not swipe all the way.
Undercharge is a good play here. It
doesn't do
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought it had more health on the Celio.
2. I don't think this matters that much because we do have 2 shields.
He has, his only win con is being able to powder snow down the Frostlass.
And the opponent knows. So very nice. Despite getting caught, this time the Frostlass gets to carry it home with the 2 shields protecting it. So we do drag one back, but now the score is 5-10. So one more win by the Pogoats means we lose. So conversely, our last 2 battlers need to go 6-0 in order for us to have a chance of winning. And the Chicago Stars really good at doing that. Let's see if the Stonks can do the same. So next up, we're gonna have Master League. So this is probably a format that you are not very familiar with D-Gill, but Adam is bringing
I was
in.
under the impression that I am the new Master League specialist, so
Well,
I am appalled that you would say such a thing.
fair. Adam is bringing in Mewtwo, Dialga, Ogira as his restricted picks. Backed up by that is Excadrill, Genesect, and Primarina. On the other side, we have Dialga, Groudon, Mewtwo, followed by Metagross, Snorlax, and Primarina. So we have the same Dialga, we have the same Mewtwo's, we have Prima, and then the other three are different. So Dialga, Excadrill, Genesect into Groudon, Metagross, Snorlax. So what I'm going to say is this Groudon looks a little bit scary. It is
Mm-hmm.
good against Dialga. It's good against Excadrill. If it lands the Earthquake, obviously, everything's conditional. Against Genesect, you need to be early in your energy, but if you are, you can Fire Punch it down pretty well. So this Groudon might be a little bit threatening. It's basically a better Excadrill. That's why it's a restricted slot here. On the other end of the spectrum, we have this Metagross, which does not look nearly as good. It does wall the Genesect and Prima, but Ogira and Excadrill are very, very excited to see it. So we'll see how that plays out.
I want to ask real quick about the Genesect. So, in my brief interactions with Adam in the Master League channel on our server, it seems that is it Freeze Technoblast or whatever the Ice type
It's
Technoblast is
Choke.
what has made it more meta because it did
Yep.
not used to be meta.
Yep. So it
But
had
that
it
the
had
addition of an
this.
Ice type move makes it more usable.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can even see it here. It hits Dialga neutrally. It hits Groudon super effectively. It gives you pretty good coverage against the grounds, the flyings, the dragons, which is a lot of what Master League is. And it also gets some access to Fury Cutter, which is a pretty high energy generating move. Doesn't deal that much
Mhm.
damage, but it does add up against Mewtwo. And it also gets access to X Scissor, again, good against Mewtwo. Or it gets access to Magnet Bomb, which has been pretty good against Zacian
Hmm.
and other fairies. So it's a very varied moveset that has, especially since it's like one of the few legendaries that's unrestricted and has pretty good coverage, has come out to play in this new iteration.
Chill Drive. There we go. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And with that, we can get started. So remember, we got to go 6-0, 3-0, 3-0 from here. So any loss means we are out for the count. So we leave Giratina to Dialga, not where you want to see your Giratina be on the Dialga. And we see
Tough
Adam
lead.
instantly swap out into this Genesect. A pretty nice safe swap. 3, 4, 5. So we see here that you needed a lot of a lead. Fury Cutter gets you 4 energy per turn. Barely survives that, but we do get to the Technoblast. Yeah, that's like double effective. We
That
do get
does
to this.
so. I mean, I knew it's double effective, but damn.
Yeah, Genesect is
Oh, that does a lot too. Okay.
Genesect is not good in the sense that it's like a big tanky thing, but it has good
Mm.
coverage. So we'll see what Adam wants to come in. Probably with this, yeah, Ogira. Try to farm up. Knows that with a little bit of extra energy, you can actually tangle with that Dialga. Let's see if he opts a shield. Hey, look, it's me. Fire Punch, good call. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't have enough
No shield
energy.
there.
And now we have Dialga coming in. And so a lot about Master League is really managing your clock. So we'll see if we can swap out. Yep. So that's really nice time management. We'll see if this conveys an actual win. Excadrill into Dialga. Dialga can throw Draco Meteor with impunity if it wanted to. It's going to offer an Iron Head. Good no call. And then they swap out into the Snorlax. Now, this Snorlax is actually really freaking annoying because it is a giant meat shield that can randomly catch Shadow Balls from Mewtwo. And yeah, Shapo literally describes it as a third shield. That's all it is to him. But in the situation where you get it on the Ogira really has no option. You'll notice that our Origin Giratina went for Shadow Ball, Ominous Wind moveset. We were thinking about Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse kind of sucks literally everywhere else, so we're like, okay, fine, whatever. But this Snorlax will just basically destroy. Like it will lick down the Ogira and then leave with 100 energy. Throw 2 superpowers on your Dialga, leave, and you have to tangle with that. So here, things are looking pretty bad, obviously. We have this Dialga, which is a little bit dry on energy. Well, it still had some energy coming out, but we can't land a Shadow Ball before he Dragon Breaths us down. And so this game is pretty close. I mean, I guess they just went for it. They're like, whatever, you can have it. Probably correctly identifying here that their Snorlax is better into this Excadrill than the Dialga. And yeah, I think that's, well, let me make sure that I didn't mess up anything. Or did that get cut off?
No.
Did we win that one? Did we win that one?
Yeah, we won that one.
Oh, did the
We were
Snorlax
able
die?
to
Oh man,
one shot down the Dialga.
yeah. I'm stupid.
Just as we drew it up.
I'm stupid. I thought the Snorlax is still there, but yeah, we killed it actually. All right, no, we won that one. Go team. So we're 1-0. This is what happens when I'm trying to pay attention to 5 different things. All right, so we're 1 out of 6. We need 2 more wins here. Excadrill into Snorlax. Better
matchup, right? You just gotta watch out for the superpower.
Better than everything else the Snorlax can be on. You can see our back line is Mewtwo and Ogira. Mewtwo does fine against Snorlax. It can side strike it down pretty well. It does take a beating in the process. The one problem with the strategy here, and you'll see he swaps out there. The one problem with that strategy is your Excadrill is the only answer you have to Dialga, and so you need to preserve that Excadrill. So
I was wondering about that, if he was going to swap back into the Mewtwo at some point.
Yeah. And so Adam correctly identifies that he needs to keep that Excadrill alive, so opts to swap out before he eats superpower or 2 superpowers. And this Dialga is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. I think Adam here is saying, I want to take a shield. I think I can take a shield here. I'm going to opt to try to take the shield. And
would this kill from here? I know it's resisted, but
this will not. Oh, it will. Sorry, I should know this. I actually watched this battle. It is quite resisted, but I think it's like it. Even if it didn't like kill it, it would have been really close. And then here, Snorlax does get to just pretty much wail on this Mewtwo.
Yeah, just let it throw its energy.
And now, obviously, you have to go in with the Excadrill. Now you don't have to save the Excadrill as much for the Dialga, so unless they're rocking a Metagross in the back, you're pretty fine to bring this in here. The problem is this a superpower in dip? It is a superpower in dip, and now we're in a really bad position, right? Let's say even if this Ogira beats up on this Groudon, which is no guarantee because this Groudon does get to its Earthquakes and can put a lot of pressure on the Ogira. And there's that Earthquake dealing, a little bit more than 50%. Your Ogira is useless after this. Your Ogira will do nothing to the Snorlax. It will heal the Snorlax. Knowing this, Adam says, all right, maybe I can get a shield off of this Groudon. His opponent, knowing that the Ogira is next to useless and the Snorlax is OP, says, fine, do whatever. Throws another Earthquake. And now we're down on HP, on Mons, on shields against this
on morale.
On morale, yeah. And so again, even here it's like, whatever, dude, I'm just gonna farm you down. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that ends this bout. That ends the bout. But like you said before, there's every game win matters in this format because at the end of the cycle, it's going to be dependent on who has what tie breaks. And so we do want to still play it out and see if we can get more wins. Our opponents, obviously the same. So everyone's going to bring their best into this game 3.
I think so. That's what makes these, just in a general term, what makes these like team formats a lot more enjoyable because it really is a fight to the very end. It's not till like at the very end of the last bout of the cycle that you kind of see where things are falling into place.
And so here we see the same pattern. He insta swaps over to this Genesect, and we're gonna do this same song and dance. They're gonna get to the Fire Punch very shortly. We're gonna throw a Technoblast. Fire Punch nearly KOs. We barely get to the Technoblast enough. And that's really in part because of Adam's very fast swaps. It's 55. You need like 7 seconds to get to that. The Groudon needs 5 seconds. What happened here? So you need to be ahead by 2 seconds. What happened here? Did this film get corrupted?
Stuck.
I got stuck. Okay, well, let me back a little
Groudon
bit.
shielded. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
We're back. Okay.
So Groudon shielded that one that time, saw the damage. And I'm guessing as more and more people start playing against Genesect, more and more people will get used to its damage profiles. Like the first time you see a Technoblast, you're like, holy crap, that came by really fast. The 10th time,
That's
you're like,
literally my
oh,
reaction.
yeah, I'm on to you. Yeah. Yeah, Adam says 3 extra mud shots will kill after Fire Punch. So it's a very, very, very tight window there. But you got 7 seconds to your Technoblast versus 5 seconds to the Fire Punch. And so we really see kind of what I personally think Master League is really predicated on. It's about Dragon Breath or Dragon fast move damage, and everything else is just how fast can you churn out your charge moves. Here, Adam's gonna go for a nice little farm down. We see the Snorlax. This is gonna be tough sledding, just because again, like even though my Pika best Pika has no shields left, the Snorlax is just so thick that it's basically like an extra shield. And kind of compounding our problems here is that if we get a superpower on our extra drill, this is pretty much over. So all Adam can do here is just keep churning out these drill runs, hope to get there, need to call the bait. Does he shield here? Ops shield. It's a body slam. Told you. It's always a body slam when you shield.
It's always how it works.
And then this is probably going to be the superpower. And with that, I mean, this Snorlax can just literally lick down the Mewtwo. Well, I guess it has to lick down this thing first. Adam tries to get a little bit more energy before throwing, but he knows this is over. And we get 3-balled there. And so, again, continuing the trend of getting 1-2'd, we are now 6-12. And we'll see if Nuclear, who was the only person to pick up a win last time, ends up picking up a win this time, albeit a little bit too late. And so the last cup...
This meta is interesting. I was just pulling up my notes on this one. Abomasnow's really made a comeback in Open Great League, and it's cool to see it, obviously being used by both trainers here in Timeless. And then the Shift Tree Bring is interesting. I've always been a Shift Tree fan. But David, you were saying Timeless has changed since it came around the first time. What's changed with it?
That was more so for Sorcerous. I'm actually not too familiar with Timeless. It wasn't a cup that I liked too much. I really love Sorcerous. Timeless was not timeless for me. But kind of the conceit in Timeless is you have to bring one of the starters from designated gen. And so you see both trainers bringing that Swampert. Nuclear, our Timeless specialist, says, not a lot of the starters are very good, and so you really do have slim pickings. Some people bring Venusaur. Blaziken has a little bit of play. You'll also see that Nuclear is rocking this Ninetales. He likes having some fire types. He says the fire types aren't that great, but Ninetales are the best out of a bad bunch. It's going to look really good into this Abomasnow if you can land it there. It's going to look really bad into the Swampert if you land it there. So we'll see how these go. So rocking Ninetales, Swamp, and Abomasnow. Abomasnow. And we lead Ninetales into Cough. So I think this matchup came up a lot last cup, or last cycle. We'll see how it plays out here.
Yeah, I remember this being a common last cycle.
Yeah. So we see this Ninetales is on Fire Spin, so opting for, I believe, it's slightly faster energy for less damage. Excellent move optimization there, throwing one extra Flames or Fire Spin.
I love a well timed charge move through.
Yeah. Got to give credit where credit is due. Nuclear is he's a rock star. What can I say? He's like uranium.
Maybe reading that is that a science joke?
Yeah, because he's a rock and he's nuclear.
Gosh, I'm not good at science.
Over
Interesting
here.
that he swapped out of the Ninetales, seeing that maybe reading he's weak to Ninetales in the back, that the coffin was shielding that
Yeah.
that weather ball.
Yep. Yep. Very nice read by Nuke. Saving a little bit on the Ninetales. There's not a lot left on the Ninetales here, but we're down. Ooh, that's an extra mud shot that didn't generate any energy at all and certainly didn't generate that much damage. But Nuke says, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to Hydro Cannon down here, and now I have a very loaded Swampert into a Beedrill. This Swampert is going to get to 2 Hydro Cannons really in short order. And so you're right. This is the one half of the back line that is weak to the Ninetales. Opts to back out of that immediately after getting energy. We're getting messages from Ronnie Huang, who has his Europe trip coming. So
I wish I was going to Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I got my trip.
Man, Nuclear, can you ask Ronnie if I can come with him?
I don't know if it's like Warner or if it's Nuclear. So, and here's a Skuntank, which is not as weak,
True.
not as weak to Ninetales as you would think, but Ice Bandy really opted to just try to ride that cough to beat up on whatever was in front of him. And so this is indeed a charged up Skuntank. Let's see what Nuclear does.
He has the Hydro Cannon banked on the Swampert, I believe, right?
He's trying to remember if he has it.
So he gets the Weather Ball, so this is good.
I actually don't know who wins CMP there, so that's actually... It's probably Swampert? Probably? But
I think it's Swampert. Doesn't matter now.
Yeah, his opponent knows that he sees the writing on the wall, ends up just saying, fine, you got me. All right, game 2, Ninetales into Celio. So, not the best, but not the worst.
Not the worst either.
We'll see how Nuke decides to play this out. Chooses to stay.
Do you run Aurora Beam or Water Pulse in this meta?
I haven't the foggiest.
I would imagine Water Pulse, but
they're both so bad.
I know.
They're both so bad.
Justice for Celio.
No,
Give
we don't.
Celio Icicle Spear.
Yeah, we don't need this. We don't need this rodeo again.
So maybe just going for the body slam spam here.
Yeah.
And knowing that he'll be able to get to several weather balls before being KO'd.
So we see this Ninetales on Solar Beam. I am a big fan of Solar Beaming things, as Emzo can attest to. But I am curious to see if the Solar Beam's ever going to actually make an appearance. Not right now, at least, because Nuke chooses to go straight into this Swampert. Says that's enough on my Ninetales. I think identifies that this Ninetales may have some more use yet. Let's see how he decides to play this out. Goes straight for the Sludge Wave, gets caught on an Abominable Snow, so...
Interesting.
We'll see what happens here.
He hasn't revealed the Sludge Wave yet, I don't believe. There it is.
And the Abominable Snow just saw the Sludge Wave.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Right.
Interesting timing, pays off pretty well.
Yeah.
I would have just panic thrown instantly, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. Very nice. I feel like
Nuke's in a really good position here.
Yeah, I feel like his opponent tapped 1 extra, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the Celio. Celio's a little bit awkward to deal with now. We'll see if Nuke decides to shield here just to use another move. Probably ends up not. Says, hey, I could get more value for my shields elsewhere. Comes back into the Weather Ball. Zionic says boom. Apparently, if Zionic gives me a follow, I'll do a Solar Beam animation. I don't know. Tries to catch. I think
Nuke's getting fancy here.
I think Nuke stored up a nuke is what he did.
Are we going to see the Solar Beam, maybe?
I don't know. We'll find out. Body slams here. Tries to just... I mean, this is so painful. You have to throw an energy ball here just to kill, or... That just seems
Can you
painful.
go for the Weather Ball would...
Double resisted?
It wouldn't kill, but it would...
Double
resisted. Get it close enough.
3, 4. Okay.
Yeah, I guess just better safe than sorry.
Kills it off. And now we have a cough for... Now, there's a cough shield here? There's a cough shield here. Do we see a Solar Beam? I want to see a Solar Beam.
I really want to see a solar beam. Wait, does he have a shield left? I don't think he has a shield
He
left,
does
does
have a
he?
shield. He does have a shield.
Oh, okay. So we're probably gonna see double weather ball instead.
Boring.
I know.
Ugh.
It's like he doesn't even want to entertain us.
All right. We'll see how this works. I think this is pretty good for us here. I don't know exactly how much one weather ball does, but hopefully 2 is enough.
I believe it would KO from here.
Yeah, cough is not that
It's not as glassy as I don't know.
one.
I don't buy into the coffin hype, but that's just me.
Yeah, this
In
is
Silph metas, it's proven to be very good, but
looking pretty good here, and of course, just
there
dies
it
in that
is.
first one. And
So we
so,
get the 2-0. So we already got a winning record, so that's good in this one. Again, every match counts.
exactly. We'll
So
see
we're
if
gonna see if Nuke can bring home the 3-0 for us.
yep. And we lead 9 tails in a Swampert, so this is not a good start.
The worst possible start you could hope for. Swampert does feel like a good safe swap here.
Well, not if your opponent is running Obama, Shiftry.
Nuke's running Shift Tree though.
Yeah. Well, Nuke's opponent is also running Obama, so it's not quite the same.
Well, yeah. So that's his one hard answer to it. But we can see here now that he doesn't have.
Yep.
He must not be running Obama.
Yep. And we got a comment. Nuke is MVP of weeks 1 and 2, and definitely scoreboard baby.
Absolutely.
Scoreboard baby. I would just go for the hydro cannon here, but I don't know. Is he gonna shield here?
The chip damage.
Is he committed to shielding here? No, he's just gonna let it go, right?
I think you let it go, right?
Yeah. Let's it go.
Mm-hmm.
Opts to farm with Ninetales? No, gonna go with Obama. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. So we do know there's a Swampert lurking in the back, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I would have tried to keep the Obama Snow hidden, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of once you lose switch there, it's a little bit tricky. Again,
For
easy,
sure.
easy for us, the quarterback, what is it, couch quarterback, backseat quarterback here, but
One of those two.
it is gonna be a little bit tricky to have this Ninetales do enough. Once again, we see this kind of problem with Obama as a grass type. It's not a very good grass type. You need to go up to Energy Ball in order to kill the Celio. And now we run into the Skuntank, and of course it's gonna meet the Swampert. You see him tapping the Solar Beam. Well, you're not gonna.
Oh god.
He's gonna shield here. He goes, well, my only chance is the Solar Beam. Hasn't shown the Solar Beam yet. Could be an overheat still.
Or could be baiting because he's got 2 shields. He's got to try to get him away somehow, so he might as well bait.
Yeah, well, this Obama Snow is like very dead already, so this is very much a Hail Mary pass. And even if this lands, I don't know if it's gonna actually win us the game. But I want it to land, so we'll see what happens. Throwing it is half the battle. Landing it is the other half.
Let's go!
All right, we're still very dead to this Skuntank.
Highlight of the night.
Down 2 shields. We're pretty dead to this Skuntank. I'm just gonna update this score tracker now. I've seen enough.
But we beamed the Swampert, so really who won this game?
That's probably super overkill. I don't know. That has to be like close to 150, 200% damage.
I was gonna say probably closer to 200, I would imagine.
I would say 200 actually, yeah. Yeah, and this Obama Snow, Nuke is saying
nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
But that concludes our second bout. Doing a little bit better this time. We are 8-13 in that bout. Kept it pretty close. And next week, I believe you said we had Icy Wind, or we think we have Icy Wind.
We're on Icy Wind. It just got announced earlier tonight. Yeah. So
yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. But in conclusion, D-Gil, what do you think about what we just saw this week?
I saw a lot of grit. There was a lot of times where we went down 0-2 and were able to squeeze out the third game, which is really good to see. I think it bodes well for the back several cycles, or the last few bouts of this cycle. I can't remember which cycle it was, but there was one where we lost a bunch early and then we ended up kind of going on a bit of a run in the end, to either stay in the current tier or get promoted. I can't remember which cycle that was, but we've done it before. I think we can do it again. Obviously Emerald tier is absolutely stacked. So I'll be excited to watch these battles continue to unfold, and I think that we'll be hopefully in a good position to keep our spot in Emerald and push for the top. But
Yeah, and so this week, just to kind of put things in perspective, was quite the brutal week for a lot of teams. The closest bout was Cool Cats 9, Ann Arbor Arbok. Wow, that's hard to say. 12. Everything else was we had an 8 and 13, the Chicago Stars going down to the Body Slammers at 13 game wins. Final boss, formerly known as Mazer, loses to Wing Attack 8 to 13. Icy Wind loses against Stadium Elite, the team that beat us last week. They lose 6 to 15. So, even though these were kind of close, but the final score doesn't look that close, there were a lot of teams that picked up pretty big losses or wins, depending on how you want to see it. And with faction standings right now, it is actually a battle of the two lowest, Evanstonks versus Icy Wind. Evanstonks at 15 wins, so Nuclear picking up that 2-1, really clutch it and putting us one ahead of Icy Wind at 14. 2 game wins ahead. Cool Cats also still at 0 points. And then we have the Stars, 3 points at 19 game wins. Final Boss, 3 points at 21 game wins. The Body Slammers, 3 points at 21 game wins. Ann Arbor Arbok, last cycle's champions at 22 game wins and 3 points. And then Wing Attack, Pogoats, and Stadium Elite all at 6 points. Pogoats and Wing Attack tied at 26 game wins, and Stadium Elite being elite at what they do with 29 game wins. So
it's
still
almost like Stadium Elite made some really good offseason moves and picked up some incredible battlers.
maybe. So
Maybe.
we will see how next week plays out. We're gonna hopefully stream again. I'll see who's gonna be casting with me next week. Deco, if you aren't tired, maybe you can come back again. I'll still have to grade you on your work this week. Maybe Leo comes back. We'll see. Maybe someone else comes back. It'd be really cool. But we're planning on streaming same time next week. Be here, be square. And I guess the last order of business is we should probably go raid someone. So if anyone in chat has someone to go raid, please let me know. Ideally, someone who does Silph or factions, want to support those people. But honestly, anyone with cool vibes that has a pretty chill stream, we'd love to host them. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm all ears.
We love some good vibes.
I'm also terrified of loading Twitch in case like my computer just completely disintegrates. So I'm gonna let other people tell me where to go.
Who else streaming right now?
I don't know. I don't want to open Twitch.
I got it. Ooh, what was the regional that just finished up? Was it Baltimore?
Sure. Yes.
Was it?
Maybe.
House Stark is streaming right now. Our friend from Canadian Shield on Fraggin' Wagon is streaming at the moment.
Yeah, why don't we hit up Fraggin? I think we hit House Stark last week, so let's hit up Fraggin.
Let's do Fraggin.
Fraggin without a G, wagon. Let's see if that works. Awesome. And we're just waiting for the raid to go off. Please. All right. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to go raid. Awesome. That should be it. I'm going to stop streaming.